I was out and about selling my book, Taffy How, as I do, selling and marketing my book. And I'm working in a particular area which is fantastic. There's a lot of readers in this particular area, and one particular road that I'm working down, majority of their houses are flats. And normally with the flats, I normally don't do very well, but since a lot of people have been working from home, I'm noticing that a lot they're willing to come down. Normally, most people don't want to come down, or what have you, but I'm finding that I'm doing extremely well. So I come across a particular house. There's about 5 flats there, and one woman answers, and her voice sounds really intrigued with what I've just said. So she's asked me to come up, and normally people come down. So I thought, okay, I'll go up. And I had to go up 5 flights of stairs, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, I should have asked her to come down. Anyway, I get to the 5th floor. She comes to the door, totally encouraged with the fact that I've written and self-published a book, has a look and just says, I'm always willing to support people that are, doing things for themselves, especially, if it's to do creativity, etc. And so she buys the book. She gives me more than she needs to for the book because she's totally impressed with what I'm doing. And then for some reason we get on to my first book. Probably she said, "Is this your first book?" And then I explained I've written another book called A Sacrifice of a Lifetime. But the way that I'll be promoting that book will be more via podcast. And because I was just explaining that it's quite controversial, and I cover a lot of sensitive subjects. And she was like, "Oh, that book sounds really good. I'd like to read that book. So when you have rewritten it, please let me know because I'd like to buy a copy." So, and she then explained that her husband does a lot of filming and he films people who want to be filmed while they're doing their podcast, etc. And then he comes to the door and explains the same thing. And, they're basically saying keep in contact because it would be good to work together. So I give her my business card, and obviously at the top I've written YouTube, welcome Rosalind Roberts. I've said, it'd be good if you have a look, maybe you'd like to subscribe. She goes, yeah, I'd love to do that. But please have a look at our YouTube because they have a YouTube for their children. Their children do YouTube. And I said, no problem, I'll do that. So what she said was, she said that she'll send me a message via text or email just to forward me her details so we can keep in contact. And she did. Within an hour, I got her details. And yeah, so basically, I'm going to keep in contact with them. But I mean, have you come across people, a particular person that can totally relate to what you're doing if you're either working for yourself or you've got a particular hobby that you're very passionate about, and someone can really relate to what you're doing and they're really interested, intrigued with what you're doing. They've got nothing but encouraging words to say to you, which really does uplift you. Don't forget to comment on my page, welcome Rosalind Roberts, to like and even share. Don't forget to press the notification button so that all the videos that I do come up and running straight to you. So later on that evening, her husband actually sent me an email explaining what he did, how he does videos, films. If you want your podcast to be filmed, he does that. He does editing, etc. And he sent me some examples of his work. And it was all laid out really professionally. So I was really, really impressed with that. So definitely I'm going to keep in contact with this particular couple, and I look forward to working with them. Anyway, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.